Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Are you ready to survive No More Room in Hell 2 together? If you enjoy the adventure, don't forget to like and subscribe. Maybe consider dropping a comment to share any of your thoughts. Thanks as always, and let's get into it.
Hey guys, welcome back. We're diving into the April Reanimation roadmap update, which is going to include the new Pottsville map, a weighted dial inventory system, combat 2.0, and character roster, and much more. So we already know that this is going to be a pretty big update. Previously, they were calling this a huge update. I believe even biggest update their studio has done, something along those phrasings in previous updates. Here they're basically just describing the size of this update as comparable to the size and scope as the entire early access release back in October. They go back into what the update includes, but they add in a big surprise and a host of other big items, as well as impactful bug fixes across the entire game. They go into why this particular update has been a big one for their team. It's been something that they've been working on for months and even years in some cases, but they just weren't able to get it into early access or any of the previous updates. That, you know, now it's time and they're excited about it. It's quite special to them, and they're really hoping to showcase the game's playable content and how chock full of features it is. And they remind us that, you know, they're continuing further development even past April as they continue towards version 1.0. They pull up the roadmap visual that we've seen a couple times. I'll leave it up on screen for you guys for a quick second if you want to pause, but I'm not seeing anything different here, so we're just gonna keep it moving. So they're really teasing this surprise major content. They give us a couple hints. They go into that it's been something they've been working on for a long time, and they haven't been shy about it. It's going to give the players a lot more to do in the game, and they think it's the main thing the game needs more of right now. I think if I were to just speculate wildly, something they've talked about, I think Waldosboro, they said at one point it's in a similar state of release. Maybe they can get that released at the same time. I mean, to me, that kind of matches giving players more to do and what the game needs right now, just kind of different content and replayability. I'm just wildly speculating for the fun of it. Of course, don't hold me or Torn Banner to that guess. So they're pretty generous with the new pictures of the Pottsville map. We get this intersection where the zombie apocalypse caused quite a little bit of chaos, cars crashing into each other as they're trying to get out of town or whatever's happening. In the background, we see that big church and what looks like maybe a water tower. They give us the loading screen map as we load into Pottsville. Probably we're starting off in the southern section, probably just different parts of the neighborhood. We are probably going to gather together pretty quickly. And then it looks like there's several objectives kind of like just grouped into one major section towards the north side of the map. They give us a little description of Pottsville. It's a brooding, suburban small town full of claustrophobic encounters with the undead at dawn. It's a new urban set map for No More Room in Hell 2. They pulled inspiration for this map from classic zombie movies and settings. They remind us that Pottsville is much smaller and far more dense than the previous big old rural map power plant. And that size difference and that density difference is going to make gameplay feel very different. More claustrophobic encounters against the undead as players creep down foggy alleyways and roam through neighborhood houses in downtown buildings as they explore a blend of suburbia and city environments. But yeah, we're not going to be just like running out in the open forest anymore. We might have to like jam ourselves through a small alleyway to get to an objective or to get to an extraction. And there could be a giant horde crammed into that small area. Definitely could have a different vibe, and I'm kind of looking forward to that. So again, being generous with these images of Pottsville, we're seeing what maybe looks like a roadblock kind of situation outside of the police station. Obviously, the checkpoint's been abandoned. Pretty desolate scene. Next up, we kind of have like just a construction area. Maybe as the apocalypse was going on, they were trying to rebuild. Maybe this started before the apocalypse. Hard to tell what's going on, but just, different flavor in the town. As you're wandering down different streets, you're going to bump into different things. There's probably like 15 zombies hiding in that water waiting to SEAL Team 6 you. So Luke, the level design director, goes into a little bit about what are they trying to storytell? What's the player experience here? So their main goal is create that suburban horror experience, a new game play flow and intensity. The players are going to spawn alone still, but it seems like they're trying to surprise us with how the match will play out from there. Again, that power plant was a rural setting, way more open, whereas Pottsville, being suburban, small town, is going to feel dense. With that density, they're going to be able to create new moments where the zombie pressure is more immediate. And I think we all feel that in the power plant. A lot of times things are so spread out, there's server limitations in a way. They can't spawn an intense experience for everyone while everyone's spread out. So I feel like maybe jamming everyone together into these tighter corridors really lets them like just throw the world at us and make us deal with it. And now we can't just run around through the forest for 15 miles and avoid that problem. Different experience, and absolutely looking forward to that. So they go into some new zombie spawning tech. Interesting way to put it. But they're hoping to more reliably put pressure on the player with this new spawning system. And then they designed this particular layout around this system to try to support it. And apparently they found it pretty cool to see it come into life. And sounds like they hit the mark they were shooting for. I'm looking forward to seeing it. I'm a little curious, does that affect the power plant? Does the power plant have this new zombie spawning tech also? Because it could probably use a little work. I'm going to assume for now, until I see more, that it's not really going to affect the power plant. Just maybe it's going to be kind of just new systems for this different suburban experience. But maybe they can use it in power plant too. We'll find out. So again, here they're calling Reanimation one of the studio's largest single game updates ever. They go into some character roster changes. I'm just trying to blow up what is basically animated GIFs here. So there's a lot of background static in these, but I'm just trying to make sure that everyone on every device can see what's going on. Sorry for the lower quality, but here we go. So in the character roster, we're seeing what looks like 3 slots. It looks like they currently have 2 filled with just level 1 and level 4 characters, and a 3rd slot ready to fill. So exactly, I think, as we all expect, what is a character roster? It gives you multiple characters to use. It's still a permadeath system. Whoever you select to go in there, that character is at risk. Do you want to bring in your level 50 perfect build that you've been working on since the dawn of time, or do you want to maybe create a level 1 responder and a little throwaway character? So yeah, they just explained how the system works. You click on a character in a filled slot, and that character becomes active and is the one that will load up in matchmaking. If you click on the plus symbol, you get the kind of, I imagine, a system that you're used to in terms of just pulling up a new random character from the 3 choices. It sounds as if they have plans to continue iterating on the character roster beyond April. So it looks like they're bringing in a weight-based radial inventory system. This takes inspiration from the original No More Room in Hell, allowing you to move your mouse into quadrants of your screen and to quickly select between inventory items. I know that this wheel has been really important to certain groups of No More Room in Hell 1 players. Not sure why one inventory system is dramatically different than another, but apparently certain people felt like this was an absolute necessity, and it looks like they're trying to bring it back for those particular players. So it looks like they're saying that new to this dial type system, they're also bringing in weight. So weight will kind of represent a certain slice of your pie, I guess. And once you fill it up, once you're out of pie, you can't carry anymore, basically. The concept being that a two-handed sledgehammer or a big old pile of wood planks would take up much more space than your kitchen knife. Obviously, our previous inventory system just allowed for a limited number of slots and had nothing to do with weight. Curious to see how Mule and maybe other inventory systems are affected by this. I suppose something like Vulture would just make an ammo slot narrower. Maybe something like Mule would just make every inventory slot narrower, just so that you fill up your pie slower. Be interesting to see how it plays out. So with this Radial Inventory system, you're also going to be able to assign more hotkeys 1 through 9 by hovering over whatever and pressing that 1 to 9 button. So that will be kind of good instead of just a limited number of hotkeys 4 right now, I think. Pretty sure. Now you'll be able to get up to 9. That'll kind of help a lot. Just to kind of keep things moving. Their expectation to be a more fast-paced inventory experience, but also forcing you to make more strategic decisions about what you're keeping. It might not make sense to take 20 boards. That might take up 3/4 of your inventory. Maybe. Just making up numbers. So we get a new little video of Combat 2.0 here. I mean, what sticks out to me is that zombies like really getting kind of like rocked by each of those hits, kind of being forced into the direction of the hits, turned around a little bit, stunned a little bit extra. Takes that dirty low blow after the zombie's dead. Ref's got to stop the fight. But the body it had physics after the hit. I don't know if that's in place right now. If I hit a dead body, I don't think it moves. So they're saying this is kind of like based off of feedback again to go back to what was core in the original No More Room in Hell. Combat should feel like a desperate and gritty survival situation, and there should be uniqueness between weapons, more uniqueness between weapons than before. I'm not sure I'm seeing that. It seems like your melee is more powerful to me. Like you're really just beating the hell out of that zombie. It's never gonna get a chance to hit you. So I'm not sure about that. I think we'll have to wait and actually experience it. So Nicholas Lintz, the combat designer, says that a focus of Combat 2.0 was to allow players to stack melee actions together, create more unique situations, and better interplay between your allies as you're fighting. So they're saying that it's much more important to measure your strike distance, to kind of pick your direction of which way you're knocking them around, keep an eye on your stamina, and juggle all of this with your allies. So maybe we're just seeing like perfectly measured hits in these samples, and maybe that's not exactly representative of a panicked fight or something like that, especially if you're by yourself. So it will be interesting to see. They kind of describe taking on roles. Somebody might be kind of like a CC guy, while someone else takes in the DPS role or whatever to precision strike those probably runners are the threat, right? Take them down, or whoever kind of snuck around the CC. They mentioned that new weapons are on the way to complement the revised melee system. To stay tuned for more details on that. A lot of times they sneak in little extra updates that they never even mentioned. I mean, here they're mentioning it, so maybe that's not it, but maybe they sneak in a melee weapon or two in April. We'll find out soon enough. So next up is what does much, much more mean? It looks like we're going to see some improvements to performance, and as always, just bug fixes all over the place. Just when I cover these patch notes, I can't even get into the bug fixes because they're just fixing so much. Half the time I didn't even know the bug was there. I give you this picture of a really nice, nasty looking riot zombie. Looking clean, looking mean. That's nice. I hope I hope that's fairly representative of what it looks like in game, but it's looking good. They go into zombie spawning improvements. Essentially, it's just a new system entirely to bring core improvements to enemy density, which we talked about a little bit, in scarcity all across a map, across all maps. I don't know if I kind of went into that or not, but I was having thoughts about that. So that would be good. I'd like to see some more density of enemies in the power plant in particular. So what do we got here? Modified loot spawning to create a more rewarding experience as you search for gear and supplies. I don't know what that means. I feel like they gotta cut back on loot, to be honest with you. I just feel like I'm like rolling in weapons, ammo, medical, anything I could need. I'm ready for World War III. So I don't know what a more rewarding experience is gonna mean exactly. To me, more rewarding experience almost has to cut back on the rewards. So very counterintuitive there, but we'll see what they're doing. We'll see what they're cooking. They got performance improvements, of course, and hundreds of bug fixes, which I don't doubt. Everything under this section and on and beyond in the video is under the what else we're working on category. So this is not April content. Don't expect to see this in April, maybe May, maybe beyond. It's what they're working on. So Waldoboro was a project name, and it looks like they're going to be naming it Lewiston. So they go into a little bit what is Waldoboro or Lewiston. It's an urban setting map that they've been they're deep into development. I believe at one other point they said they were in a similar development to Pottsville. I don't know what that means. Is similar mean like there's a difference of a couple weeks or a few months? I don't know how long it takes to develop a map, but I'm looking forward to a third map coming out fairly soon. Apparently, Waldoboro in that project name was being worked on for quite a while as the Lever team before they even merged with Torn Banner. So I think people that have been watching this for much longer than I've been involved since October, and early access was where I found it, the game. But people have been seeing Waldoboro for quite a while. So apparently they picked Lewiston as a name to kind of better reflect its real world setting within the state of Maine. I don't know if Lewiston is an actual map, I'm sorry, a real town that you could find while driving through Maine, or whether it's kind of like a similar name or what exactly. But here we find the responders outside of Pennsylvania, and they're working to secure the safety of survivors across a ravaged city during the sunset hour, basically. So that's, I think, the other thing that's different about Pottsville is I believe that's a sunrise situation. This one's sunset. Obviously, power plant is, I don't know, midnight, pitch black, dark out. So now we have like both, you know, a rural city location, not a city, a rural location in power plant, wide open. We have that suburban, tight-knit neighborhood, and now we got this more urban feeling, probably similarly tight feeling map in Waldoboro. But also we have 3 different time of days on top of each of those, so it's kind of just getting a lot of variety in the maps. So I guess super quick recap here. I'm just excited about Pottsville. If they chopped off all other content, just got rid of Combat 2.0, got rid of the wheel, it just gave us a map, I'd be pretty happy, to be honest with you. Just adding to that replayability and just a different experience altogether. But, you know, Combat 2.0 also sounding very interesting. I would like to see a tougher, grittier survival experience. A little desperation if we're actually in melee, unless we're meleeing with our team. I don't know if character roster matters a metric ton to me. I don't ever get, I don't know, that dream character. I know quite often in the past I was killing off characters all the time just to try to get the grass is greener on the other side, perfect build and never quite getting there. I know I've kind of stopped purposely killing off characters because I want those nightmare runs in, but we'll see how it feels. More options is always a better thing than less options. Surprise content, I mean, that could be anything, right? I kind of speculated earlier that maybe it was Waldoboro, but after getting through all of the update, I really doubt that. So I don't know if I have another good guess to speculate on. I don't think I do. But yeah, definitely looking forward to this update. I think this is definitely like a game changer update. I'm hoping that maybe a lot of people start coming back once they get this new map. Maybe some of the reviews from the original launch start changing. That would be great to see. Getting a little more population into the game. Population's honestly fine since this last update. You get into a game in 30 seconds, and it's nothing. You only need 8 people to play. Hopefully, you guys enjoy this kind of content, and the rest of the content I've been trying to share with you guys in the gameplay. If you do, and you'd like to maybe come find me on Twitch, follow and subscribe over there, subscribe on YouTube. Honestly, some of the biggest things that would help me would be just comments, likes, just interaction on the YouTube stuff. YouTube is algorithm is destroying me right now. It has no interest in sharing the content with the rest of the world. I know I got a small community that really does enjoy the content, and I appreciate you guys. But yeah, you know, comments and thumbs up and all those silly things would help the algorithm push it out to a larger crowd.
As always, thank you so much for watching. Interested in seeing more? Here's another video on your screen. If you liked anything you saw, please consider hitting the like button, subscribing, or sharing your thoughts in the comments. Thanks again, and I'll see you next time.